never understood how your value can depreciate, but your standards go up. So you're
I did say that.
Right. So you're going to get a lot of people that get upset about this topic, but realistically, you'll get a woman 35, 40, you 50 dicks in, 50 partners in, probably 2 kids in, and now you talking about, I'm waiting to marriage, or you got to jump through all these hoops to get this coochie. Nobody else has jumped through any of these hoops. Your value can't go down, but your standards go up.
I'm going to stand on that. Your value cannot go down. Your value cannot be actively decreasing, but your standards are actively going up. That is crazy.
There's no woman that's going to look me in my face at 35, 40, and you done spit some creatures out, that motherfucker, and you think you about to talk about, you about to be jumping through these hoops. You out your fucking mind. The value of it has went down, and the pussy is used. I'm not politicking for no used pussy. And they get mad when I say that, but it's used. If we go into the store right now and use a pea-size amount of toothpaste, the value is depreciated. If you get in a brand new Maybach right now and drive it right up the street, if you drive right up the street, that value of that car has just went down. We go in a designer store right now. You put it on. As soon as you walk past the metal detectors or whatever sensors they got, it's used and the value has went down. So it goes back into, how does your value go down but the standard goes up? That's just is not realistic. Why are we so delusional?
And that was a video. It's so amazing to me how people can talk down on other people because they don't want to have sex with them. That's what it sounds like to me. Like I don't understand, but I get it that you're saying that, okay, if she's done this, and this, then just don't talk to that person. If you feel like, why are you talking to them? Because if you have all those things to say, you had no good intent for them in the first place. That's just not your person. Why? I'm not understanding that. But go ahead. I want to hear y'all's opinion about the video.
I think he does want to have sex with those people and is mad that they don't want to have sex with him. That's what it sounded like to me, that these women have standards that he doesn't think they should have. And he said he wasn't negotiating anything, but he was definitely negotiating for them to lower their standards, right? So I don't know. It sounded a little strange. But I think sometimes in that conversation, because that's a popular conversation on this platform, I think people forget that some people never understood their value in the first place. And so they were operating from a place where they didn't have any value in themselves. And once they understood their value, now they're standing on that. And I've said this so many times, but I don't understand why people are not allowed to live past their mistakes. And I'm not saying that children are mistakes, right? But I'm saying if you've made decisions that you regret and you've chosen to operate differently, why are we holding people to something that they've done in the past if they're no longer moving in that direction? Are we expecting that people just always be terrible? That if you make a mistake, you're condemned for it for the rest of your life? Like, at what point do we allow people to self-correct and start doing the right thing?
I think that that's part of the game, that, like how you were saying, that some people don't know their worth. Once they begin to see beyond what other people told them what they think that they were, that you automatically naturally start moving different, right? If you want different, you make changes and then you begin to move differently, right? So I think what happens, like you said, in these spaces, a lot of times we're hearing, oh, your value's gone down because you've had kids out of wedlock. Oh, your value's gone down because you're older. Oh, your value's gone down because you've had, multiple partners. So we're being measured by those things. And I think what happens is when a woman say, okay, you know what? If they look at what the man is saying, I'm going to go ahead and start making changes, right? I don't want to continue. Like, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Just in general, as humans, when you shouldn't move the same way you moved when you were a kid versus being an adult. So even if you have a woman or a man who has a track record of not living a good life, in terms of like a guy who was selling and got locked up, or a girl who was out there and got pregnant, right? At some point, you do want them to make those changes. And once they do make those changes, I think it's only natural for them to then begin to have certain standards, so they won't fall back into the same behavior or end up in the same situation that they were in. So now when those people are holding you to that standard, you can't, like, it's like trying to pull them back, like, oh, you can't demand better because you've already done this. It just does not make any sense. So if a woman says, you know what, yeah, I know I've done these things, but now I want a different outcome. Like how everybody say, if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, then that's crazy. So my thing is, if somebody comes to a point where they say, I want different results, so I'm going to start doing different things, and then the person tells you, well, you can't expect different things because you've already done this, it just doesn't make any sense.
Can I jump in real quick, Marcus? It'll be just a second. I actually agree with a little bit of both of you, but there is like with what he was saying, there is a lot of delusional women. There's a lot. So I'm not going to negate that these women really do that foolishness. But yo, my G, you not that dude. How about that? That's what it is. You just simply not that dude. Her standards changed for you. You not the dude. Because if you were, she'd probably take them panties off. You could knock it out and keep it moving. But you're not that guy. So either you adjust to her standard or don't talk to her. Move on. She not for you, bro. Don't be used by some chick that decided to raise her standard for you. For you. Because my gut tells me Marcus roll up on her, them panties gonna drop. You just not that guy. And I'll end it there.
I got into the penny dropping convo. You funny as hell, AP. The thing is, I think you're right though. I think so. My question was mistaken. You really don't understand it, or you don't agree with it?
I don't agree with it. I understand. Okay. I understand what he was saying, but the other question that came to mind too is, when you're talking about standard, what is he referring to? So my thing is if she raised her standard, what does that mean? So if before she was operating on whoever, likes me, I'm going to like them back. And, we have sex, whatever. I don't know. My thing is, if her standard in the beginning was low to begin with, but then you make the adjustment to say, you know what, I'm going to stop doing that. And I'm going to now at least be in a relationship with somebody. Say like she was just one night standing people, and then say, you know what, I'm going to stop. I want to be in a relationship with people. So that becomes the new standard. So then a guy who says, well, I heard that you used to have one night stands. Like, why won't you let me smash? Like, to me, I guess that doesn't make sense to say, oh, now you want to raise your standard? Like, okay, at what point? So are you saying that she should just continue to do what she's doing and never make changes? Like, that's kind of what it sounds like. Like, I don't want you to do better because I still want to be able to, use and abuse you. But the fact that you won't let me use and abuse you, you don't raise your standards too high. Like that's the part that I'm saying that doesn't make sense to me.